I'm excited.
Whoa, what's up, Offline Sharks? Right before we went live, I was like, let's get this party started. And I look at the camera and Nick was like, man, you look excited.
I'm excited. I'm just thinking.
Oh, awesome. Welcome, everybody. What's up, David? I saw David got a package from us.
Oh, yeah.
That's really awesome, yeah. I'm glad you like it. Glad your wife likes it, David. Bill says this is the fastest 60 minutes on Facebook. I loved that. I love that. Hey, Patty. Welcome. I see people are starting to come on. Gabriel. Oh, Shark.
Yeah, we're giving away a BMW and a Lamborghini.
This is so my second car, just so you guys know, is a Jeep. And I always have wanted for a long time to get a bumper sticker to put on the BMW that says my other car is a Jeep. You know, because you always see people with the stickers that say my other car is a BMW. I was going to be like, my other car is a Jeep. What's up, Dorn? Hey, Janice. Welcome. Patty says she's glad to see the bookshelf back. It's like growing out of control in my office. Like I ordered 3 more books yesterday, and as I was ordering them, I was like, what am I doing? There's all the books on the bookshelf, but there's 5 books stacked on my desk on the right, 2 books on the left. Like I've got a pile on the floor. It's insanity. I have a problem.
Tom's office is definitely stacks of books. Like, you can't see it. I mean, well, you can see it, but even what he's looking at, it's like piles of books everywhere.
Yeah, there's a whole nother bookshelf over there that's just filled with magic books, and then I've got another little bookshelf that's just filled with like fiction. But I have a problem.
You know what's interesting is this. So this office I'm in at this house has there's actually a really nice bookcase here with just tons of like old school Hawaii, like just old school Hawaii books. And actually where I'm at, it's interesting because like this place specifically it's like old world Hawaii, you know, because it's so far away, it's so desolate, it's so secluded that like anytime you go into a store or a building or you know, anything really, it's like walking back in time because just it's not easy to upgrade here.
Yeah, it is super. For those of you that have never been to Maui, and specifically Nick is in Hana, you may have heard of the road to Hana. That's a very popular tourist attraction. And but yeah, he's out in Hana, and it is super remote out there. And it's like, even when I do the road to Hana, like even living here, it's like, it's a little scary when the people that live there drive on that road. Cause that road is like super twisty and windy. And man, those people go like 60 miles an hour. In some places it's 1 lane. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Actually yesterday we went to a place and saw, I don't even know how this guy, he drove off the side of the road and into like down a ditch. And there was a tow truck like pulling it out, but there was like nowhere where he could have like turned and went that way. I don't even know how he ended up there, but it was pretty intense.
Yeah, the road to Hana though, that area out there, I mean, because it's so remote, it is so gorgeous. Like, you know, I remember the first time we went out there when my wife and I we just pulled over on the side of the road, and then like you walk back, and all of a sudden you're just in this huge, you know, body of water with waterfalls streaming into it. And, you know, it's really super tropical and Hawaiian feeling. And I remember the first time because we were like, oh, we want to get our picture under the waterfall, you know, like be under the waterfall. And then I jumped in the water, and it was so freezing cold. Like you always see pictures of people in Hawaii on those waterfalls, and you think, oh, it must be so nice. That water is like ice cold. It was freezing. I was like, oh, they don't tell you that at the bottom of the pictures. By the way, this is super cold. So funny. Well, awesome. Well, we're really excited you guys are here, and welcome to the Weekly Shark Show. We're doing it from Nick's, and Hannah. So I'm doing it from the home office here today. We got a good show lined up for you guys today. Lots of shark shout outs, lots of great things to talk about. We're kind of in a weird time here on Maui because I don't know. I fear that they're going to be shutting us down again. It's weird, Nick. I got up this morning and worked out, and I went running down through the neighborhood, and like for whatever reason, my subdivision, they've already like saran wrap all the playground equipment, all the picnic tables. So they've closed the little park again. And I'm not really sure why they did that, because I didn't think that was what was happening here. Like I knew they were doing things like that on Oahu. So anyway, we'll know today probably when the mayor does his announcement and stuff, what's going on. So
yeah,
we'll see how this all goes. You're not going to get trapped out there. But like, hey, as entrepreneurs, what do? We can't control those situations, right? So all we can do is continue to move forward, right? We can continue to do the same things that we did when they shut down the first time and when they started to open up. Like, we can work every day to keep our mindset right, to not get sucked into all that media noise, and focus on positive things and continue to move our businesses forward. That's the big thing, right? Like just not letting that stuff get you down, and keep going forward. So yeah, Anna, so Oahu has had a spike in cases, but Maui has, what do you consider a spike in cases? The other day, the mayor said, if we have 7 cases a day, we're going to close down, which to me seemed like a really, really crazy low number. Then he revised it. He was like, well, maybe 10. I was like, 10? Yeah. So, but like the thing about all of that stuff going on, right, is I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health professional. I don't know all the details of all that stuff. So, I do try to stay informed, but I also know like a lot of people are scared and all that stuff. So, whatever they put in place, like I try to follow that and follow that in my business. But, we still have things to do, right? We still have stuff to get going. So yeah. Paula said some things going on in their place too. Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting. So, but I don't want to dwell on that. I don't want to dwell on all that stuff. I want to talk about the successes that our sharks are having. I want to talk about the things we can be doing. I got a great book to talk to you guys about today, that, the things we can be doing to stay positive, to stay in the now and continue to move forward. And even if we can't, even if we're in a position where, this is something I've been thinking about a lot, like even if we're in a position where we can't make our businesses better, we can always make ourselves better, right? And I always tell you guys, like, the whole entrepreneur thing for me has been this journey of becoming the type of person that's an entrepreneur. And, even when you can't physically do business, you can still be working on yourself to become that type of person that when the opportunity opens up, you're ready and you're ready to go. So let's start with some shark shout outs. I'm going to share my screen here, and I will let you pronounce this name, Nick.
I will do that.
Let's see. Is it screen 2? I hope this is it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is going on with all this. My screen share is like...
Hey, Jacqueline, it was really good to see you on that private coaching call yesterday. Keep up the good work.
It's telling me that I can't now. Like Firefox is giving me crap with sharing my screen. Hold on, let me try something here, Nick. Hold on 1 second.
I think you're also getting some feedback whenever I talk.
No, I'm not hearing any feedback from you.
All right.
I'm gonna hold on.
Oh. So while Tom is doing that, if you guys have any like questions or anything that I can answer while I'm just sitting here, I'd be happy to jump in and see what you guys are up to. Let's see. John Wolf says, "How do I get the access to Ben Adkins bonus?" John, we should have sent you an email if you, as long as you made your purchase within that specific time period. We should have sent you an email, and if you didn't get it, then just send us a receipt to offlinesharks.com/support, and we'll send you that bonus.
Hey Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know. We're all this. Remember last time Google wouldn't let my microphone work, and now it was Firefox. So now Google's working. So there we go. All right. So I think I'm situated. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So let me pull up our first shark shout out here.
What's up, Andrew?
Sweet. So this is our first shout out. Would you pronounce that Joshin?
I think it's Joaquin Dulenkopf.
Joaquin. See, Nick used to live in Europe, so he's much better at this than me.
I probably didn't do that right.
Yeah. So, he posted in the group that his pizza money, he's been doing the pizza money system, right? And his ROI of 5 days, which has been really awesome. We even tagged Ben in it to check it out. So way to go. I mean, that is awesome work. Like, I love to see when people, take action on things that we share in the group, that we put them out there, and then get results. Like, that's the main goal, right? And I know sometimes, like, we have, hey, what's up, Todd? We have
Todd.
Yeah. I know sometimes, you just got to focus on one thing. And the reason we like to bring a lot of different stuff to you guys is because everybody's in different places. You have different skill sets, or maybe things you like to do, other people don't like to do. So really awesome to see this. So way to go. Big shark shout out to Joaquin.
Yeah, just 5 days too. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be able to, take action, implement, but to get a customer within 5 days, a return on that investment, that's excellent job.
Yeah, really awesome. Our next shark shout out goes to Jacqueline Heath.
Hey, Jacqueline. That's
and
awesome.
I know Jacqueline's on the call, so way to go, Jacqueline. And this is really awesome to see. So she wasn't sure which badge because she just secured a new client and she wants to take their online journey one step at a time. So her first task is to write out their stories, and that's awesome. So, Jacqueline is a writer as well. So she's doing some content creation and stuff for her clients, which is really great. So she lists some other things they've got there. They've got no GMB listing, no Facebook presence, no claim listings with directories. So there's a lot for her to start working to do with this client and work them up into probably a really good client with consistent work for her. So Jacqueline, way to go.
Yeah. And we're right now, she's actually working in our private coaching class right now. So we're teaching her how to outsource the fulfillment for that client and other clients, and also to build her team to help her with, all the stuff that maybe she's not particularly very fond of, which is like the reason why we build these teams, right? Because if, I'm not good at sales, I want to bring somebody in to help me with sales. If I'm not good at building websites, I want to bring somebody else in to help me build these websites. So, seeing Jacqueline like get customers and also have us with her to help, build the infrastructure to, facilitate the fulfillment and growing the team and all that. I expect some big things from her in the short time where, the next few months, really. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacqueline, the pressure's on. And Jacqueline is in the UK, so they're dealing with that situation as well. But she's been able to get, I think one of her clients she got was in the States. So for a lot of people that ask, hey, can you target the US if you're not there? Like, we have several sharks that are doing exactly that. We have Jacqueline, we have Sir Jan, quite a few other people. So yes, it can be done. Let's say our next shark shout out goes to Elena. Elena said, within 10 days of completing my website, I ranked in the 3-pack for 29 keywords. So after seeing the video Nick made she got the Centrio, and she put my directories on steroids on my website. Super steroids. She said, thanks for calling this our attention. Awesome as usual. You've heard of keywords everywhere. My goal is Elena everywhere. Oops, watch out for the Google dance strats. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Way to take action. And, SEO, like one of the things with SEO, guys, that's a long-term strategy, right? So we go and we, implement these things, and then over time it grows and grows. I mean, I've just watched what Nick has done with his agency site and the leads he gets in from that pretty much every day, right? Because of that work he started doing, months and years ago. It really pays off. So way to take action. Awesome job.
Yeah, excellent job. And that Centrio, that tool, and we'll talk a little bit more about it towards the end of the live, but yeah, really just an easy way to help your SEO efforts really kind of compound what you're doing, or like Ileana said, put it on steroids. So good work.
Yeah, nice job. Our next shout out goes to Brad Saltz. So Brad said, got a new client today. Their citations are a mess, and he's asking about Yext. Is Yext for $500 the best way? So we can talk a little bit about that, about citation building and some of the things we use inside our agencies. But Brad, man, big shout out. Way to go. New client working on their citations. Awesome job.
Yeah, I bet if he's looking at Yext as a $500 fulfillment option, he probably had a pretty good chunk of actual income coming in if he's really ready to allocate that much money. I would say, what do you think, Tom? I would say $500 is pretty pricey in terms of the citation building, but also that isn't Yext, correct me if I'm wrong because I don't use Yext, but isn't it kind of like a rental fee or something like that, or they're ongoing? Like if you're not paying for them, they don't keep your citations congruent, or doesn't it work in something like that?
Yeah, it's been so long since I've used Yext because we have, other avenues that we prefer to use with the local citations. But from what I remember, they were that way. It's like you put in your information and then they distributed it among all the networks. And then I'm pretty sure you do have to like keep something up for them to do that kind of stuff, which I think is ultimately why we didn't use Yext as a long-term solution for a lot of our clients, right? Especially when you're, if you're working with smaller businesses and their budgets aren't up there, like, and that, by the way, this is a good point to, what's that?
Janice says Yext will hold your sites hostage. Dorn says Yext is a proprietary scam.
No, Dorn, the conspiracy theories. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Well, and that's one of the reasons that we didn't go with Yext. Now, pricing and fulfillment, this is something that's interesting, is all relative, right? Like, when I know a lot of times our first instinct is to just try to find the least expensive way to do something or the most cost-effective way to do something, which is good. But there's also something to be said for quality of work, for, the quality of the type of things you can get done. So a lot of times in our agency and our businesses, we're not always looking for the lowest cost solution. We did do that in the beginning, but can be a downside to that too, right? And so really what we like to do is like look at, okay, well, what can we charge for this service? And then try to find the best solution that fits in that budget. So we use what we charge to craft our budget. So $500 a month to pay for Yext may not be a crazy thing if that client's paying you $3,000-$4,000 a month, right? Like that's not, it's relative. So, you need to kind of think about that. But I do also think it's good to have options so that if you do have a client that's, not going to have a higher budget, you have a way to still deliver the service at a way that keeps you, really profitable. So I know a couple of things that I really like to use for citations is one of my favorites is Marketers Center. And I know we have various links around for that. I don't know if Cameron has a link to that or not, but Marketers Center, they have a lot of local SEO service things that you can purchase from their site, and Citations is one of them. So I've used them quite a bit. They're they don't hold your stuff hostage, right? They create the citations and send you an unbranded. I think they'll even send you one branded with your logo if you send them your logo. But they'll send you a spreadsheet that has all the citations and the logins and everything that you can then pass on to your clients or keep for yourself. So I like to use them. I don't know who else, Nick, what do you guys do in your agency?
Well, if you don't have somebody like dedicated to do citations for you, which we do, we also use Web20. They do great citation building. Web20 does great citation building. We have you're a Shark Alliance member, we have a coupon code in your members area for Web20. I think it's a 10% off any of their stuff. And one thing that they do really well that I like as well is their citation audit. So basically, they will manually, like, let's say you have a customer that just changed their address or their phone number or their business name, right? And it's hurting their ranking, or they just need to change to have the accurate phone number in all these different areas. They know that, they have inaccurate data all over the internet. So what Web20 will do is they will go out. I mean, you give them all the information and they will go out and they will fix as many as they can. And they have like 2 or 3 different tiers of how many they'll fix. And it's actually, I mean, that problem that you're solving for the business owner is huge, right? Because it's just there's no other way to do it. There's no other way around it. It's going to take time, right? It's labor.
It's manual work, right?
Yeah, it's labor intensive. There's no way around it. You've got to sign up for the directory or wherever it is. Most of the times you don't have the username and password, so it's like a 7-day period of resetting the password and getting a new password or whatever, right? It just takes time. So, being able to have them do that for you for couple $100, I think, and you can mark that up. I mean, that's an easy markup to $600, $1,000, depending on what tier you purchase. But that's a that's a good one. So I like that. And then, of course, like I said, they do great citation building as well, and they have multiple different tiers and different types of directories to go after.
Yeah, let me see. I think I can. Let me see if I can track down the.
You're right. I have it. You can keep on with the notes. I'll get that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can find the one for Web 2.0. I think we have it in the Agency Growth Machine too. I think it's inside there as well.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Cool. All right, I'll share my screen again here. So Brad, way to go, man. Awesome work. And hopefully that things on the citations will help you out. And I saw some people put some in the comments as well, so you guys can check this post out too. Our last Shark shout out goes to Doug Page. And Doug posted a picture of him sporting the Offline Sharks shirt. We loved it, Doug. Looking good, man. Looking good.
Yeah, Doug.
Yeah, so that's awesome to see that kind of stuff. I love that.
We got to get some more. We got to get some more designs. We're actually, just so you guys know, we're working with some graphics teams right now to come up with some additional concepts.
Yeah. So awesome. And let's talk about our member of the week. Let me get his. Anybody have any ideas on who our member of the week is? And then we're gonna do the read, and then we'll do some Q&A and stuff like that. I know there's always a delay here, so it's not Doug or anybody that we did in the shout outs, actually. All right, here we go. Our member of the week, who gets a special Offline Sharks prize, is Frank Falcone. So Frank has been tearing it up in the Facebook group. So awesome work, Frank. And
I think Frank's here.
Are you here, Frank?
I think so.
I don't know why this.
No, the other Frank is here. Frank Caban is here. Frank the Tank is here, but not Frank Falcone. But
yeah,
good to have you. Congratulations, Frank.
Look at that nice graphic there.
Awesome work. And just so you guys know, right, we always highlight a member of the week, somebody that's taking action, helping our fellow sharks, maybe somebody that has overcome some adversity, sharing some wins, some struggles, some success in the group. And if that's you and we see that in our group, then we're going to give you a huge shout out, member of the week, at our jam session. And also we are going to send you a special gift. So we will be reaching out to Frank Falcone to send him a gift.
Yeah, Frank, you'll hear from somebody on our team and they'll get you all situated. So congratulations, my man. Way to be member of the week. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I can stop sharing my screen there. And then go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, and by the way, I shared the link to Web20 for you guys. You want to keep what I shared safe, copy it somewhere. There's a link and then there's a code. In order to get that discount, you need to click that link and go to that code. So whenever you do purchase, if you want to get that 10% discount, you have to click our link and go to that, use that code. That's how you'll get it. So keep it safe.
This big arm just like getting in the way. Maybe that's a little better. Okay. Awesome. So maybe let's talk about, you want to do the book of the week or you want to do some Q&A right now?
Let's do the book of the week, and then I want to give away some Cash App money after the book of the week.
Oh yeah, Cash App money. I always forget about that. Daddy Warbucks over there. Okay, so the past few weeks with the books of the weeks, if you guys have been tuning into the show and watching, we've covered a couple of topics that I think are super important and that relate to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show of becoming the type of person that, has a successful business, is a successful entrepreneur, also, staying focused on what we can control, what we can do to become better and all that kind of stuff. So we've talked about some books that dealt with mindset, right? Like getting your mindset right, keeping, having a good mindset. We've also dealt with some books that talked about how we, our interaction with money, right? Like getting past the blocks that we have for financial things, like changing our habits and our behaviors to open ourselves up to, so that we have a good relationship with money, right? The mindset stuff for me is the same kind of thing. It's like, it's opening up my mindset so I have a good relationship with responsibilities and implementing discipline in my life and all that kind of stuff. But there's a third thing that I think is important as well as entrepreneurs, and that is our ability to come up with solutions to problems, right? Like as an entrepreneur, we're going to run into problems. We're going to run into things that we're going to need to figure out what to do next. We're going to need to generate ideas. We're going to have to do all that stuff. And so this is another area that I think is important to try to improve on, right? So there's the mindset side, there's the money side, and then I think this creativity and problem solving side is as important as those as well. So the book I have this week is actually on that, and it's by a guy named Mark L. Fox, and the book is called Da Vinci and the 40 Answers. And it's a playbook for creativity and fresh ideas. And what caught my attention about this book, and as you can see, I'm still not done reading. I'm about halfway through. The first half of the book is about how to generate ideas and solve problems, right? Like how to brainstorm when you run into problems, come up with solutions, things like that. But this guy, Mark L. Fox, he used to work for NASA, and he worked on the space shuttle program for a long time. And now he has a lot of different businesses that he's out of that. But so the first half is about, coming up with ideas to solve the problems. And then the second half is about a problem solving system called Trees. And I had no idea what Trees was. I was like, I don't even know what this is. But Trees actually, and I don't know if I can find the guy's name here. Who invented Trees. But I don't know if I can find his name. Oh yeah, Altschuler, Genrich Altschuler, Altschuller. So this guy worked at the patent company. So he saw all these inventors coming in all the time, right? And they had all these amazing ideas. And he at first just thought, man, these people are just creative. Like they must have just been born that way. And then he started thinking like there must be a way to systemize what they're doing. So what he started doing was he started studying all the patents that came into the patent office. And as he was doing this, he spent a lot of time doing this, and he studied a ton of patents and different things that came in. He realized through his research that there were only like 1,500 problems. Like every patent that came in could be categorized in one of these 1,500 problems. But more surprising than that was he realized that there were only 40 answers to solve those 1,500 problems. And so Trees is the system he developed, and the 40 answers are 40 things that you can apply to any problem that you run into to help you solve it, right? And so the second half of the book is, which I'm just starting to get into, is all about Trees and how you apply the 40 answers to whatever problems you have. But I found this book really super interesting because, you know, he does a really great job of relating it to real world stuff. And he also, you know, he talks about some of the big names in history that used these things to advance, like Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, Walt Disney. He talks a lot about these Buckminster Fuller. He talks a lot about these various people through history and how they've applied the things that he talks about in this book to solve problems and do it. Like one really interesting thing that really surprised me was Albert Einstein. So, you know, Albert Einstein, the theory of relativity, Nick, E equals MC squared, right? So they have not too long ago, they uncovered letters between Albert Einstein and his wife. And it turns out that his wife wrote several of the formulas that became the theory of relativity. So like, you know, they were talking about how, yeah, like, you know, how you spring off of other people's ideas and not a lot of stuff is really, truly original. And so even though she doesn't get any credit in the thing, she had a big part in him developing the theory of relativity. Now, not to say he stole it from her, right? Like he obviously added his own things to it, right? But it wasn't I always thought of somebody like Einstein as like this singular thing. Like, you know, he just came up with that himself. But the reality is he did it based on interaction and collaboration with a lot of other people. And there's a couple of other people in here he talks about. One guy won the Nobel Prize not for an idea he came up with. It was an idea that he reached out to somebody else and was like, hey, I like your idea. Do you mind if I study it? And the guy was like, sure. And this guy that it wasn't even his idea ended up winning the Nobel Prize for his work on that subject. So I've been finding this book really super interesting, and it's given me a lot of good ideas and ways to look at problems in a different way, right? And and they call it inside. He calls it outside the box thinking, right? Like it's a really practical approach to develop that outside the box thinking and not get trapped in the way things are, right? Like it's so easy to get trapped in like, well, that's just how everybody else does it. So that's how I'm going to do it. And so this book and the stuff inside is really a way to break yourself out of that. So it's called Da Vinci and the 40 Answers by Mark L. Fox. You can go to offlinesharks.com/books and you'll see it listed on the page there. You can get it. There's an Amazon link there. It's not an expensive book, but recommend you guys get that. It really does a nice job of completing that kind of those three legs that I talked about, right? If you focus on mindset, focus on, you know, your relationship with money, and then focus on your ability to be creative and problem solve, I think those three things go together really, really well. So
that's a really I mean, important book if you're like an entrepreneur and content creator. I mean, for me, I know like I have to constantly do different things to try to come up with new ideas and come up with new ways to do things, I guess. And if you have a formula that works, I mean, that can really, really help or save you a lot of time. And my formula is one that just, continues to evolve as life goes on. But wow, I really didn't know that about Einstein. That's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Behind every great man is a greater woman.
Yeah. Megan said that's because girls rule. Yeah.
Very true.
And I agree. As a man in a house that has 3 women, I agree. Girls rule. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so that's the book. And then so last week somebody was asking about the mindset books we talked about. So the one that we talked about last week was called The Unbeatable Mind. And you can, if you go to offlinesharks.com/books, you'll see all the books we've recommended on the lives, and they are like broken up in categories. So that's the most recent one I read. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. What do we want to hit next, Nick?
Well, I wanted to do a little Cash App money giveaway. I wanted to ask a question that I think that might be a bit of a tough question, Tom. We might have to give them some clues. But if you guys are interested in doing a little Cash App giveaway, let us know. Give us some feedback. Give us some comments. Maybe smash the like button for this feed, because we never ever asked you to do that, right? Hit the like button on this feed. It helps us to like push our content out a little further. We'd always appreciate that. I think a good question, Tom. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, for my daughter, I can say, smash that like button. She watches the YouTube channels. I always say that.
Continue to smash it till it's blue in the face.
The other day, she said, how was your live? I said, it was good. Did you watch it? She went, yeah, I watched the first part of it. I was like, she's 11. I was like,
that's funny.
Yeah. Okay. So, fire away.
I thought this would be a great way to tie into our special guest. Our special guest.
Okay.
Right? We don't have a special guest for you today.
No special guest today.
No special guest today. But maybe we could do a little bit of a Cash App giveaway about the identity of our special guest. And maybe you could help me do it a little bit of a framing about our special guest. Give them some clues about who this special guest is, because it's a pretty important one.
Yeah. So I told Nick yesterday, I said, I lined up. Oh, go ahead.
For the first person that gets it right, we're going to give you some Cash App money. So go ahead. Questions are, I mean, the contest is on.
Whoever I'll start giving you guys some clues. Here we go. So, and this is a guest that we're going to have next week. And when I was able to get this person to come on, I told Nick, I was like, we roped a big one. Like, it's going to be having him on. And so this person, they have a book out that we've actually recommended on this show during the book section. We've actually recommended their book, just so you know. They are in the marketing world, and they have also been a guest. They have also been a guest on my podcast. In fact, the first, the first season or 2 seasons of my podcast were me delivering the content. When I started bringing guests on, they were actually the first guest that I published live for my podcast. And, I see somebody, Dorn was like on the money.
Dorn.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So next week, we are going to have live on the Marketing Jam session, Brian Kurtz. So for those of you that don't know who Brian is, there's a couple of things you can do. One, go listen to the episode where I interviewed him on my podcast. You can find it at tomgaddis.com. You'll see his episode there. But Brian, he was one of the guys behind a company called Boardroom with Marty Edelston. And Boardroom was one of the biggest entrepreneurial newsletters and book publishers out there. I mean, I think at one point they were doing $200 million a year. And they they used the copywriters that they worked with at Boardroom were Eugene Schwartz, the guy who wrote Breakthrough Advertising, who, by the way, was one of Brian's mentors. Eugene Short was a big mentor for him. They worked with Gary Bensavinga, who is considered one of the greatest living copywriters. Tons of people like that. Paris Lapopoulos, I think is how you say his last name. Just really, I mean, it was a top-notch, huge operation, right? Boardroom. And Brian has a ton of information from those guys, just hanging around with those people and being involved in those promotions that generated all that income. Basically, and a lot of this was pre-internet, right? So it was all through direct mail and all through the packages that they put out and infomercials. They did infomercials as well. So he worked with some of the top infomercial people in the business. So he is a wealth of knowledge. Since leaving Boardroom, he started a thing called Titans Marketing. And so one of the first events they did was a big event that was a tribute to Marty Edelston, I think. And they had people like Dane Kennedy there, Jay Abram, just a lot of really, really big name people. And he turned that into a mastermind. So he's got a mastermind called Titans Mastermind. And then just recently, right before all of this shutdown stuff happened, he launched a smaller mastermind called Titans Accelerator, which I'm a part of, and a really great group of people that take action and all that stuff. So, Brian is, I don't know what else to say, man. He is packed with marketing knowledge. And what's really great about him is his willingness to share with other people, his willingness to, he doesn't hoard that knowledge. Like, he wants to get it out there. And so, yeah, you guys are really going to love it. So we're going to have him on. You're going to be able to ask him questions. We're going to talk to him about stuff. It's going to be an awesome show. Yeah. Mike said he had a subscription to Boardroom.
Oh, wow.
I've got one of their books. Where is it? Oh, so maybe no, that's a Bottom Line Books. I can't remember. Anyway, I've picked up some of their books, but yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, you guys, that's gonna be an awesome show next week. So for those of you that do know Brian Kurtz, actually, who knows Brian Kurtz? Maybe let us know if you've heard of Brian before. Let us know in the chat. And if you have, I'm sure you probably have a couple questions for that man. I mean, he is a serial direct marketer. So make sure you'll want to come, right? You'll want to come. You'll be able to ask him questions. You'll be able to hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Normally, I mean, it's pretty difficult to get that guy in a room with you, but, as an offline shark, here we are. We're going to be able to hang out with them and ask questions. So make sure to, as you're going about your week, this coming week, and we prepare for the next marketing jam session, jot those things down and show up with your questions for him. And look, Susan said that she's a copywriter. She's met him.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. And I saw somebody ask, is he the carpet cleaner? You're thinking of Joe Polish. Joe Polish and Brian, by the way, are really good friends. He's another person that showed up at the Titans marketing event. So you're thinking of Joe Polish, but Brian runs in that same circle, right? Dan Kennedy, Jay Abrams, Joe Polish, all those guys. And I mean, just to again to say like, hey, just how valuable it is to have him on the show. I think like if you just wanted to get on a Zoom call with Brian, like if you wanted to hire him to just talk to him on Zoom, get some advice about your business, those go for $2,000 an hour. So really awesome that we're going to have him on the Facebook Live, and you'll be able to ask him questions.
Tom, did you pay him? Or is he hooking you up?
I did not pay him.
That's awesome.
I did not pay him. I just emailed him and asked him. I was like, well, he actually he sent an email out to his list asking for something. And I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I think we could do something. And so I said, would you be willing to come on our Shark Live show and hang out with our people? And he was like, sure, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Super cool. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I actually have one of his books that I'm going to be reading in preparation for when he gets here. I'm gonna hit him hard with some questions.
Yeah. Well, another interesting fact about Brian is, not too long ago, he had a stroke, a pretty severe stroke, and he was in the hospital and they told him he wasn't, it didn't look good. And he was able to work through that and get all of his mobility back and his ability to talk and all that stuff. And
oh, wow.
One of the things going through that process that going through that experience really solidified for him was his desire to share the knowledge he had and to help other people become better marketers, better direct marketers, and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Well, Dorn, congratulations. Put your cash tag in the chat. We probably already have it, but just in case we don't have it, let me send you over some Cash App money.
Yeah, and by the way, just so you guys know, you can if you just go to briankurtz.net, you can see about Brian and all that stuff. Yeah, he's actually written a few different books, so, and has various things out there.
We'll see you guys. What we're gonna do, we're gonna reach out to Brian too. In the meantime, we're gonna see if we can get some more information on hooking the Sharks up with some of his books. So maybe you guys will show up if you're interested in the book. Show up live, and we'll see if we have that information for you on Friday.
My recommendation to you too, like if you want to pick up Brian's book, I'd probably wait until we get on the live, because you never know, we may have some kind of bonuses or something, or who knows. So we're still mapping all that stuff out. We want to make it a great show, right? We want Brian to have a good time. We want you guys to have a good time. And we really want to show them what an awesome community we have here in the Sharks. Because I tell those guys all the time, I'm like, we have an awesome community. So it's great to be able to let people see how awesome you guys are. So, yeah. Cool. Well, why don't we do a few questions and things?
Well, we also have the we're talking about Centrio real quick, right?
Oh yeah. Let's do that, and then we'll see what kind of questions would come in.
So, Dorn, I just sent you your money.
Now leave him alone, Dorn. He's probably texting you. Where's my money?
Where's my money? Give me my money. I just sent that over. So let's talk about Centrio real quick, everybody, because we sent out a couple emails, right? We've promoted a little bit, and it's a software combination, right? For those of you that are interested in SEO, who are my SEO sharks? Maybe you could type SEO in the chat box. If you're interested in building your website, your digital asset to bring in some customers ongoing, long term, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but you can put in some of that work, and you can start to gradually get some visibility where you could have some customers coming in over time. Okay, cool, Anna, Jacqueline. And so did any of you who saw my video that I shot kind of outlining what the Centrio tool does? Maybe you could put like a 1 in the chat if you saw, because this strategy, I'm gonna pull up my whiteboard here, Tom, not my iPad whiteboard because I don't have that set up, but a different whiteboard.
Those things that we've never even used it.
Yeah, I know. It's bad. It's bad. So for those of you that, do we have a banner for Centrio, Tom?
Yes. Hold on, let me click that up.
Okay. And if you hear some background noise right now, just keep in mind that's Sloan down there screaming her head off cooking breakfast or something. I don't know what her and my brother are doing right now, but I can hear them going off, so forgive me for that. But okay, so let's jump into Centrio real quick, because at its core, what it really is a software that automates a way to get some high authority backlinks to your site, right? It's a it's a syndication network. So what a syndication network is let's say I have my website, right? And And actually, let me pull my website up. So if I go to my website, nickponthe.com, and you can see that we are regularly publishing content to my website, right? In fact, look at this. This article went out today. So what is SEO marketing, right? So this article went out. It's all about SEO marketing. You can see that that's the term that we're trying to get some ranking for, right? You can also see that we have some interlinking to SEO marketing works on Maui, things like that. So whenever we publish an article like that on our website, right? This is my website. and it's so hard to draw with a mouse, but you guys will follow me. You'll get the picture, right? Anytime we publish an article, right? This is your blog. Anytime we publish a blog article, in most cases, you're publishing it to your site, right? But if you have a syndication network, a network that anytime you publish this one article, it can be sent out to another website, and then another website, several websites, all at the same time, right? Let's say if you were to focus on social profiles, it would be shared to Facebook. This could be shared to your LinkedIn. This could be shared to your Twitter. This could be shared to your, I don't know, let's just call it another WordPress website, right? A different WordPress website. Anyway, that's a network. That's what it looks like. And anytime that you have an article that gets shared across different platforms and networks, what Google sees, and thank you, Gabriel, 25 total platforms. What Google sees is popularity, because popularity is a ranking factor when we are talking about search engine optimization. Because if you find yourself in the SEO mindset, right? What does Google actually do when they are ranking a website high for a specific term, right? If you have a event happening in your town that is very popular, like let's say, you know, a celebrity is coming to your town, right? Let's say you have who's a celebrity? Let's say Brian Kurtz is coming to your town, right? And that's something that's extremely popular, right? People are going to be sharing about it on Facebook. They're going to be sharing about it on Twitter. You know, it's going to be everywhere, right? So these are what we call popular signals. So what we're doing with the syndication network is we are simulating this popularity ranking factor to Google's algorithm. Now, is this network going to give you immediate page one rankings overnight in a competitive industry? Probably not. But if you're doing any type of ranking at all for your site, if you're doing any type of content publishing or anything like that, this is what you bolt onto that to make everything go way further and work a lot harder for you. So the difficult part about building one of these networks is it takes a lot of time to set up all of the profiles, right? As Gabriel mentioned, 25 total profiles, that would take you probably 3, 4, or 5 days to set them up really nicely. And so what Syntrio does is it does that for you, and it automates that process. So anytime you publish a blog article to your site or your customer site, it will go out to all those networks, and you'll see a lot more juice going after those keywords that your articles are trying to target. Now, we do this. I've been doing this on my website for years. Basically, since I started doing SEO, I've been using a content syndication network. It's been something that I've always used. And so the problem with it for me was it took me a long time to set it up. So we've been doing it for a really long time for ourselves and for our customers. So not only for yourself, you know, I know a lot of us are thinking about ranking our own sites, right? But what about for your customers? So we usually deploy one of these for our customer sites when we're doing SEO too. So keep that in mind. This is a easy way that you can set all of this up relatively quickly and have a lot more juice going to your websites and profiles and have an easier time ranking, especially if you're going for long tail type keywords. SEO marketing in Maui, because we have a content syndication network in place, we're able to rank for those long tail terms pretty quickly. So that's kind of the secret weapon. And right now, you guys, the Syntrio tool software combination is on sale. We have a bunch of bonuses on the page, easy way to page one. You can pick it up for I think it's less than $30 right now. And I think it's only going to be around for a few more days. The price is going to go up. But if you guys want to have an easy way to set that up, go ahead and check it out. And that's my quick shameless plug for Syntrio. And there's actually, yeah, thank you, Megan. I did do a video on this, which you'll find on that page. So if you go to that link on that page, you'll see a little video. I did this almost the same crappy drawing here that you can see, but a little bit more information in detail. So yeah, that's it. And I know a lot of people already jumped in. Maybe you guys, if you did jump in, Megan, did you take us up on it? Did you go and have a look at Syntrio? Or you can let me know. Maybe you could stick like a 3 in the chat if there's anybody here that did jump in on it, because I know it's a great tool and I know you guys will love it. And the strategy at its core is something, like I said, we've been doing for a long time, and it's allowed us to get a lot of page one, or increase our page rankings.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and we have a great bonus package there for you guys. So Josh always puts out good quality stuff as well. So
Mark and Janice are both asking about how necessary the OTOs are. You guys, the OTOs are not necessary. If you want to just have a basic syndication network set up for you, you can do that with the front end product. If you want more functionality and agency license, all these things, then you can get the upgrades. Somebody, Gabriel said actually that Josh extended a 20% discount code Encore only today. So if you go to our link and you plug in that code Encore, you might get an additional discount. Megan says she did, but yeah. Well, Megan, you hopefully you have somebody on your team by now that can help you get it sorted. Somebody says it's $54 now. So it might be $54, but if there's a 20% discount code, then it should be a little less, right? I don't know if it's actually $54 right now, but what I can tell you is that it's on a special launch pricing right now. It's still on a launch pricing. So let me see. So it's basically the most inexpensive that you're going to be able to get it is right now. So even if it is $50 without the coupon, it's still on a special launch pricing. So you're getting a massive discount. I mean, let's see. So this is the video that I shot, and some of the stats of some of the things that I shared in the video. And then if I click this link, this is the actual page. You have to click through our link to get those bonuses, and then let's see. So 5233, and then there's an Encore coupon code, and it still works. Jack just said that it works. So if you go there and you type in Encore, maybe it has to be all. I'm not seeing it. So I know that this price point is like, I don't know what the discount, I think it's 70% or something like that, Tom, 70% off.
Yeah, I know it's pretty high. I'm not sure why the code's not working for you. Jack said it worked for him.
Let's see. Hold on one second, you guys. I'm going to message Josh real quick and see if there is a coupon code for you. But I mean, I do know that this is even if there isn't, you guys, this is a great deal on it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty amazing what the software does, right? Like, again, it distributes whatever you publish on your website to 25 different platforms. And Nick can tell you, and you'll see in his video and him talking about it, like what a pain it is to set all that stuff up on your own, you know? So it really does give you a jump. And again, it's another layer in your SEO foundation, right? This probably isn't the thing that's going to push you to number one for the most competitive terms, but it is something that you're going to help. He said, Marcus said you need to use agency, not personal, for the Encore to work. So I think you clicked the personal, maybe.
Let's see.
Nothing like live TV, right, folks?
Well, he also said that, let's see. So Josh is messaging me right now, and he said that there is a coupon code, Trio 5 off is one of them. So let's see. So with the agency, let's see if the Encore one works for agency. Okay, yeah, the Encore works with agency. And then the personal license, Josh just messaged me and said that there's one that's Trio 5 off. Shashank, could you add that to the chat box for them as well, please?
I can do that. Is it all capital, Nick?
Yeah, I guess I should see if it works.
Trio 5 off.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I guess 20% is better than 5, right?
Well, we can also too, Nick. Like, we can get it sorted with him and then post it in the comments too if we find it.
Yeah.
I think most people are going to want to do the agency anyway, you know?
Yep. Yeah, if I get word from John or Josh about the extra 5% discount, then I'll let you guys know. But yeah, as Gary said, the agency gives so much more. It's a no-brainer for a few bucks. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend you guys go hit that agency one. You get a nice discount there. Encore gives you 20% off. You go through the agency license. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, guys, man, another great Facebook Live. Another awesome marketing jam session. And I'm super stoked for next week as well with our special guest, Brian Kurtz. So make sure you guys schedule in the time to show up. That's going to be a really awesome thing. And yeah, we're really glad you guys were here with us today. Try to stay safe wherever you're at. Practice aloha. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments of the live feed because these go live right in the Facebook group. Or, you can always reach us at offlinesharks.com/support. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next Friday. All right. Aloha, everybody.
Take care, everyone.